Today's video is going to be a quick guide of the Varlamore mining and prayer methods, just because they kind of go hand in hand. I was debating on whether to switch it up and do one for the mining method and one for the prayer method, but again, they kind of go together. So I'm going to teach you both in this video. First things first, we're going to go over the mining method. For the mining method, you need 41 mining and you need access to Cam Torum, which requires the completion of Children of the Sun and Twilight's Promise. You need both those two quests completed in order to do Perilous Moons, but you only need to start Perilous Moons until you get into the city. You don't actually have to finish it from everything I've been told. Now, if that is wrong, I did do Perilous Moons before I started this method, so keep that in mind, but I'm pretty sure, and from comments I've been reading and everything else, I think you just need to start it to get access to the city, which is like 5 minutes into the quest. It doesn't take very long to get there. For the equipment, you'll need a pickaxe, obviously, and the prospector's outfit if you have it. And I also want to point out that mining boosts don't actually work here, so no Barak armor to get more blessed shards and things like that. So keep that in mind. Just wear your prospector's outfit if you have it. Also, if you want, you can also wear a amulet of glory that is charged, and that'll give you more gems, but potentially worse XP and bone shards. So just keep that in mind as well if that's something you want to do. Now, the method itself is actually pretty easy. I am going to do an actual XP rates video on this because I'm not 100% sure if everything is correct when it comes to that, because I was getting different XP rates. When you start Perilous Moons, you're going to enter the city here at the south. The bank is right here towards the center, and all you got to do is run east and then run southeast, and you will be at that mining spot that is over here. There are other rocks over here besides the calcified rocks, so keep that in mind if that's something you want to hammer out, but people are just going to come over here to sit here. It's a great AFK method. I was doing this last night while also playing NBA 2K, and I was only getting about 36k an hour for mining XP, and my mining level is also level 94, so keep that in mind. A lot of people claim that you can get 41k XP here. A lot of people say 45k, some people say 30k. Again, I was getting about 36k. The method is super easy. It's just like Motherlode Mine. All you got to do is run over here to the calcified rocks and just mine, and literally that's it. You're going to be getting bone shards, as you see here in the bottom right hand of my screen, and you're also going to be getting calcified deposits as well, which are something that you'll need to take to an anvil and use a hammer on, and you can get more blessed bone shards, or you can also get these moths. And the cool thing about the moths are they teleport you to the center of the city, which is phenomenal. And by the city, I mean Cam Torum, not like Varlamore, so keep that in mind. But it's nice to get down here because there's not really an easy way to get down here until you do Hunter Rumors, but that's for another video. Now, the only thing you really need to pay attention to is whenever a deposit goes away, or there's these waterfalls, as you see over there. The waterfalls, which are right here, actually give you a 15% better chance to mine shards and calcified deposits. So keep that in mind while you're mining these rocks, that if you want to make it a little more just semi-AFK, not completely AFK, go to wherever the waterfall is, and that'll make you be more successful at mining. So just keep that in mind if you're paying attention or just watching a show or whatever. Go to wherever the waterfall is. And that is literally the method. That's it. And luckily enough, we did get a deposit, so I'm going to show you just quickly what that looks like. So we're going to go ahead and use a moth. If you guys haven't seen the moths being used before, that's what it looks like. Nice and cool. And we're going to run over here to the bank and grab our hammer. Actually, we don't need to because there's a hammer over here in the smithing shop. All right, so we got our hammer. All we have to do is use the calcified deposit on our anvil, and it's probably going to give us more blessed shards, like it did. It can also give you the moths. Those are the two options that you get from those. So normally what I do is I just wait until I have a full inventory of the deposits, and then I just run over here, use them all, and then run back. And that's just kind of the method I use. It does take a while to get a full inventory of deposits. Now, that is it for the mining part. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment down below. And if you're peacing out, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But I'm going to be going to the prayer method now, which again was kind of, the mining part was step one, so we're actually going to get to the prayer method now. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stick around. All right, on to the prayer method, which is actually pretty awesome. If you're someone like me that doesn't like the chaos altar because you hate dying to PKers that are bad at the game and have to pray on people that are just trying to get prayer XP, this is a great alternative, as well as a great alternative from the gilded altar. Just saves a lot of time. Now, I will say that if you're a lower level and you're a main, gilded altar is still a solid way to start, because you do actually need 2 prayer points every single time that you use the blessed bone shards on the liberation pool. So just keep that in mind, that you may want to wait until like level 30, 40 prayer, somewhere around there, because although there is a little altar that you can get your prayer back, it's still a pain to run back and forth. So I'd highly recommend it if you had a little bit higher of a prayer level, but really you just need 2 prayer. Don't recommend it, but you could do it. I mean, if you did have 2 prayer, get your prayer XP real quick. Your first 100 shards would get you from like a 1 to a 6 or a 7. Either way, just keep that in mind for this, that there's not really any prayer requirement. There is the quest requirement, obviously, of Children of the Sun to get access to Varlamore, and it's also highly recommended that you get the Twilight's Promise quest done for the method I'm about to show you, and so you can use these bird friends right here. As far as equipment goes, I recommend Graceful, and I also recommend teleports for Varrock or any bank of your choice, and I'm gonna butcher this, Civitas Illa Fortis teleport, which is the Varlamore teleport to, again, get back to my bird friends and get back up here to the mountain. You also need a chisel and some GP for this first part. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to use all these bones that I have in my inventory, which I probably should have been showing this anyway, my bad. And then you're going to be turning these, you're going to be blessing these, and you're going to be turning them into blessed bone shards, and there's somebody up there so you can unnote for a charge of GP per bone, kind of like you're doing when you're doing like mahogany tables or construction, how there's, I think his name is Phil in Remington, that unnotes your planks. Same kind of concept. Now, for the second part of this, you will also need jugs of wine. So keep that in mind as well. You can buy a bunch of jugs of wine, but you can't buy blessed ones, which is what we'll be using after this. So the first part of this method, I am right here at Rallo's Rise. This is where the mountain is, and if you've done Perilous Moons, it's basically in the same spot just above the city entrance. Again, to get here, you can just use that teleport I mentioned earlier, teleport to Varlamore, and you can use the Quetzal transportation, and you will be good to go. So now, since we have everything and we are ready, what you're going to do is you're going to run east up these stairs, and then you're going to run south. And as you're running south, you are going to run up to the exposed altar, again, with your bones in mind. And once you get up here, your bones will turn into blessed bones, whatever they are. For me, it's a dragon bone. And every single time I use my chisel on the bone, you're going to get bone shards. And for me, you get a lot of shards. You could let this auto go, or you could do what I do. Sorry for the clicking, I haven't fixed the mic yet. You can just spam click and it will turn the bones into bone shards. And just like that, we are done. Now, if you'll notice, I got a lot of blessed bone shards from that. When you're done with that, all you got to do is your noted bones, run down here, click on Virulus, and he will do the same thing as I think Phil does and ask you if you want to exchange your notes for actual bones. And you just go ahead and repeat this process over and over and over until you are good to go. You run up here, bless the bones, and then you spam click, and you are good to go. And you also do get a little bit of crafting XP, but not much to really talk about. Now, I do want to say that the XP per dragon bone at a gilded altar with 2 of the fires going is 252 prayer XP. For this method, it's actually 290 XP per blessed bone. Hey, Future Rolland here, and actually I see a cool thing on the wiki that actually shows you all the different blessed bones XP rates, how many shards you get, literally all that. So I just want to include that into this portion of the video, just because here is a list of literally everything you need to know. It is on the wiki of how many blessed shards you get per bone, how much XP per bone you can get for blessed wines versus blessed sunfire wines, and the base XP rates. All that stuff is right here on the wiki as well. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go check out the wiki with the blessed bones, and you will be good to go and see all that info. So I'm going to be saving some of these bones because I'm going to be doing an actual XP rates video, and I want to have as many bones as possible, but basically you just do that until your heart's content. And when you're done with that, you can go ahead and go to a bank. For me, I'm going to go to Varrock, and this is basically going to be your method, by the way, so halfway pay attention here as I put things away. After you're done with all the bones, you can get rid of your chisel, you can get rid of your coins, you can get rid of your bones, and keep your teleportation methods. For me, again, I'm going Varrock to Varlamore using the Quetzal and back, and using my blessed bone shards. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take jugs of wine. So for this method, you can also use sunfire shards. That is totally up to you whether you want to use that. As an Iron Man, I haven't got those yet, although I hear you can just do the first wave of the Coliseum and just like make bank right now and sell those to the GE. But that's beside the point. If you have them, you can use them, and instead of 5 prayer XP per bone shard, you actually get 6. So you can decide whether that's worth it or not. Again, this is what your inventory should look like. I'm using a Staff of Air with Graceful, as you can see here, and I'm also using Teleport State to Varrock and back to Varlamore. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Varlamore. Don't forget your shards and your jugs of wine. And we're gonna go over to the Quetzals here. We're gonna go last destination. For those of you guys that don't know, you can right click, go to last destination. All right, so now since we are back to the mountain, what you wanna do is you wanna go back to the exposed altar again, and you wanna bless these jugs of wine. Now, when you bless the jugs of wine, they are no longer tradable, and I believe you can't even bank them. So this isn't something that you can just kind of do back and forth and then just chill. I mean, you got to run to the bank anyway, because I did test with Verilis, and Verilis actually doesn't unnote wines. So keep that in mind. The blessed wines, he does not unnote. When you are done with this, what you're going to need to do is run north. Once you have your blessed wines, now you can use your Sunfire Splinters on your jugs of wine if you want that extra XP and you have them laying around and that's what you want to use them on. Go ahead and use those now, but I don't have those, so I'm just going to run over here. We're going to reset this XP tracker. Now, all you have to do, you don't have to use your jugs of wine on the bowl and use the bone shards on the bowl as well. You can just spam click. So for every blessed wine you have, it will do 400 bone shards. So keep that in mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up the libation bowl. And once we fill up the libation bowl, we can just spam click. And then you can literally just sit here and spam click the whole time, which I'm going to do because I want to show you guys how insane this is. I'm going to need so many bone shards. I didn't think this through. Am I even going to get through an inventory? Can I even do an actual XP rates video for this? I don't even know if I can. I don't know if I'm going to have enough shards. I need to go sit at Dragons. Oh yeah, as you're doing that spam clicking, you will run out of prayer points. What you want to do is you just want to run south. There's an altar right here, right to the south, and you want to click on the Shrine of Raulos. Every single time you use bone shards, your prayer goes down by 2. So keep that in mind every single time you do that. But look, that was 20k XP that we just got. It's absolutely crazy. I don't think I'm going to be able to do an actual XP rates video on this because I'm going to use like all of them here, but it's fine. All right, and there we are again. So you get 20k XP every single time. Well, I shouldn't say that. I get 20k XP every single time that I need to fill up my prayer. But for science, what we're going to do, and when we're at Varrock, we're going to go ahead and bank here. And I've been told you can't bank the blessed wines. Yep, you can't. There's a magical force that prevents you. So we're going to go ahead and grab more wines. And then we're going to go back to Varlamore. And then we're going to run over here to the northeast, back to the Quetzal. And we're going to use last destination. And we're going to run up to the exposed altar again to bless our jugs of wine. And once we are up here, we are going to go ahead and run north. And once we run north, we can start the whole process again. So that's basically all it is. You're going to start at Varrock. You're going to get your blessed bone shards and your jugs of wine. You're going to teleport to Varlamore. You're going to take the Quetzal up to the mountain. Once you get to the mountain, you're going to go to the altar and bless your wines. And then you're going to run north to the libation pool. And you're going to spam click. And then you're going to get levels because that's what you do. And boom, level 81. It's crazy. And that's it. That's all there is to the method. And as you guys can see, you're going to be getting like 500 to 800k XP. Again, I don't know how much actually you're going to be able to get, but it's crazy. So with that said, if you guys have any questions, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate it. If there's anything I missed, let me know. This is kind of a longer video and I had to fit a lot of things in there and it's kind of confusing on the trips, but hopefully it made sense to you guys. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more quick guides and actual XP rate videos, as well as Iron Man series I have going right now. Make sure you sub to the channel, leave a like for the algorithm, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Turn up the summer vibes. Get off your phone one time, but you'll come outside. Cause we all here chilling. Yeah, it's the same old, same old, same. No, we don't play no games. Oh, they wanna talk.